Bethany. Thanks for watching. This is DIY comic illustration class. For class 7, pass out a book to each student. Have them sit facing forward so that we can do a group critique. Each student's going to put their work up for everyone to look at, one at a time. But start by having them look in the books that they have for how the illustrators put words onto their comic strips. Did they put the words above their comic boxes? Did they put them below? Did they put them in? Did they put them in thought bubbles? Are there sometimes bursts of action that show thoughts or something going on where there are no words? So have each student look in a book, try to notice what that illustrator has done for about 10 or 15 seconds, and then pass the book. Then they need to look in that new book and figure out what that artist ended up doing, and then pass again until each student has gotten to look at each book that you brought in and make note of what that artist chose to do with the words and the actions going on in their comic strips. So as each student puts up their final illustration and their final words, the class needs to contribute and talk about what they see in the artwork. Don't have the artist explain or read their work. You need to read the comic or have another student read it, and everyone talk about whether or not the artist's goals are coming through, what they could change to make it better, what words they could change to make it better, what words they could take out and replace with some sort of action burst or just a single word that would make the exact same thing come across in a more interesting way. It's pretty shocking what the students can come up with as far as suggestions for each other, so make sure you let them talk and try not to finish their sentences, which is something I'm not very good at. But they gave each other some new simple ideas of things to do. As the students are critiquing each other's work, pin up the examples of action words and bursts and thought bubbles underneath the comics, and have the students look at the examples and talk about which things might make sense to put in each one of those comic strips. Spend the rest of class walking around helping the students if they need it. Make sure they keep their pencils really sharp and play music so that it's fun. And their homework by next week is to have their backgrounds, characters, action bursts, and thought bubbles drawn perfectly on one page, and remind them that they can use a copy machine, that if they trace something that they like but it needs to be blown up or shrunk, that they need to use a copy machine, and that that's perfectly acceptable.